Good evening, good evening. This is Big Mark coming at you in your face with the real. Going to keep this thing pumping and jumping no matter what. I'm on a mission of healing, restoration, and growth and development. That's what I'm about when it comes to victims of abuse. A lot of people joke about it. A lot of people think it's funny, especially when men come forward. I remember when Terry Crews came forward with that he was sexually assaulted by, was it Bernstein, that guy? He's locked up now. Big macho guy. A lot of people laughed. A lot of people laughed. But this is why men don't come forward. Men don't talk about sexual abuse. I'm leading the way. I'm a real man. I'm sure of my sexuality. I'm heterosexual. And, you know, I'm leading the way. I'm as masculine as you could be. You know, it happened to me between the ages of 4 and 6, 7. I know it started at 4. And it's crazy though, how men laugh at other men. That's why they don't come forward, because they think it's funny. But like, I know a lot of men that have been to prison. A lot of men in my life. I've never met anyone who's got raped in prison. But yet they say it happens a lot, or it happens often. Even back in the day, I never met no man who's been sexually assaulted in prison in my life. But yet it's happened to many. I'm talking about these cats are sex slaves, passed around, prostituted, demeanored, uh, abused to the point where they just beaten and they just straight demasculated for years. And they come out, they don't tell nobody. They say what happened in the pen stays in the pen. But these men are usually scarred for life. Y'all don't know, man. When these things happen to you, once you get out of prison, you know you need to go get counseling. Get counseling. And the violence and the sexual exploitation that you've been through, dude, you're getting a check for the rest of your life. For the rest of your life. So I'm saying, I know it's uncomfortable for men to talk about sexual abuse. And usually the men that are laughing at you, usually the men that are making jokes about it, usually the men that try to make you hush up about it, these are the abusers. They've abused somebody, and they're abusers, and they want to shut that shit down. Excuse my French. They want to shut it down. But I'm going to tell you something. Some of y'all getting out of prison, and y'all struggling. You can't get a job. Some of y'all can't even move nowhere because you can't go into public housing, because you got felonies, because you're poor. But the amount of violence that you've been exposed to, you get a check for the rest of your life. You don't even got to be sexually assaulted. The amount of violence alone that men are exposed to in these prisons, when they get out, it makes them unfit for society. It makes them ticking time bomb, and it makes them a threat and a harm to themselves and others. So, men, it's time you start talking about it. Men, it's okay. I'm leading the way. And I want you guys to come forward, man. Get some counseling, especially you brothers that have been to prison. Like I said in my videos a long time ago, I was sexually assaulted as a kid. I thought it was normal. I didn't know what was happening. I'm glad it didn't happen to me as a grown man. It happened to y'all grown. You were able to internalize this thing. You know what was happening. You know. And it was traumatic for you. traumatic like hell. Get some counseling. Too many brothers coming out the pen hard. Too many men coming out the pen macho. Too many men coming out the pen living a lie. You ain't got to tell the world, but get some help, man. Get some help. There's laws that are made, that have been passed, that treat people like you in the very state that you got damaged in is the very state that have to pay for that. It's just a little something for the men out there who don't want to talk about sexual assault. It happens to us too. It's not funny. And any of y'all laughing? I got some choice words for you, but I can't say it. So just remember, man, you can get $140 something a month in Alabama for the rest of your life. Social Security, if you up in Pennsylvania, them boys getting like $1,400 because the price of living is high there. And California's even higher. There's no reason why anybody that gets out of the penitentiary, shouldn't be able to get a check for the rest of their life. You shouldn't have to worry about nothing. And what will happen is the state will see it costs more to let them out than as much as to keep them in. It's going to cost us. So hopefully it'll force the state to start rehabbing instead of punishing without correction, because punishment without correction leads to corruption. I'm going to say it again, bars. Punishment without correction leads to corruption. Remember that. And falling is not like flying until you hit the ground. So keep your head up. Peace.